podcast that focuses on Bible study and life experiences. Join us in our journey in the faith, in the Word, in the Lord, and we're going to worship together. Our main focus is on learning about each other's life experiences and just reading this Bible. So let's get into it. This is our first episode. Hopefully, we'll grow, we'll learn different things in regards to how to run a podcast. But the most important thing you don't have to be perfect at is reading this Bible and practicing the things that's in the Bible, right? We're going to practice our faith. We're going to practice being a good person. We're going to practice being kind. We're going to practice doing good deeds that's going to get us in the kingdom of heaven. So we're going to start off tonight rather, because it's 7:44. I was supposed to get up here at 7 o'clock, but I was having a little bit of audio issues. I'm still having audio issues. I know you guys hear those cars driving back and forth in the background, but that's fine. That is A-OK. I like to read King James Version 1611 of the Bible. That's one of my favorite ones. I know people read different things. They read, I think it's the New International Version, the Women's Version, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you have, we're going to pull your Bible out. Or if you want to sit back, relax, and just listen to me read, that's okay too. We're going to start off Genesis 1:1. In the beginning. So it says, in the beginning, Yah. So when I say Yah, I mean God. When I say Yeshua, I mean Christ. So when I'm reading through, I'm going to say Yah and Yeshua. In the beginning, Yah created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. And Yah saw the light, that it was good. And Yah divided the light from the darkness. And Yah called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So what we just read is the creation of the very first day, separating light from darkness because there was void, right? His spirit went out upon the face of the waters. You know what I've learned through my experiences and just watching how people move in their spirituality is that water and bodies of water plays a big part in the things that people do. It plays a big part in, I don't think water signifies the washing of the spirit and the flowing of the spirit. Anyway, let's move on. It says, and Yah said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yah made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament and from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Now, even though there's a lot of opinions around this, ever since I was a younger girl, right? I like looking at the stars. When I look at the stars, though they may seem to twinkle, they also sway. If you are someone that have a telescope, you could get a cheap telescope. Just stare at the stars. Sometimes you think there's something wrong with your eyes, but it's not. They sway a little. Now, there has been articles that just came out recently that says that space is a form of water. Now, it's not the same water that we have in the oceans and our rivers that's coming out our faucet, but it is a form of water. Now, some truth is coming out about, things like this, because we've been lied to for years, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole, right? They don't say that we have a firmament. They say, okay, there's no firmament, but the scriptures say that there is a firmament, and the firmament separates the waters from the top, which is space, and the waters which are below, which is the waters, because most of the planet is made up of water. Okay, let's keep reading. We're at Genesis 1 and 7. And Yah made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmaments from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And Yah called the firmament heaven, space, they call it heavens, right? And the evening and the morning were the second day. So on the second day, he divided space, the waters that were above, which is space, and he divided those that were below, which was earth, the water, the waters that were on earth. And that was the second day. So the second day he made the firmament. The first day he separated morning from day. We say we have morning and then we have evening. The second day he separated the firmaments, right? It says, and Yah said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. So basically we had earth, like actual dirt, earth. And Yah called the dry land earth. So yeah, earth. And Yah called the dry land earth, and the gatherings together of the waters called he seas. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. Basically, fruit, he brought forth fruit, seeds, all of these different types of vegetation. And in its natural form, fruit and vegetation have seeds that within itself. So now, you have these new genetically formed fruit and things that have no seeds. If you don't have any seeds, how are you supposed to plant it? Are we supposed to depend on scientists to give us food? That always bothered me. I don't like eating things such as fruit and vegetables that don't produce its own seeds. I don't know. That seems unhealthy. There might be something out there that says whether or not it has the same nutritious value as the things that are naturally, organically, because when I say naturally, organically, I mean with seeds, because they also call things without seeds organic, and that should be illegal. They shouldn't be able to. They should say that it's genetically formed. I mean, that's common sense if it doesn't have seeds, but a lot of people don't realize that if something like grapes don't have seeds, then it's genetically what is called? It's made in a lab. Let me stop trying to use big words. It's made in a lab, okay? Okay, so we at 114. And Yah said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven. So those are the stars. To give light upon the earth, and it was so. And Yah made two great lights. So he talks about the other lights, and then he made two great lights. The greater light to rule the day, which is the sun. The lesser light to rule the night, which is the moon. He made the stars also. And Yah set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yah saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And Yah said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And Yah created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yah said that it was good. And Yah blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? And Yah said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, which are insects, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And Yah made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that createth upon the earth after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah created he him. Male and female created he them. And Yah blessed them. And Yah said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And Yah said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed to you, it shall be for meat. So he gave us everything we needed to survive on this earth when he created us. He supplied the foundation. He supplied the vegetables and the fruits, and only thing we had to do was take the seed from within each thing that he created and replant it. It says, and Yah said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. Now, I wonder if this explains that originally we were made and we were, I guess what they call it, herbivores. We were vegetarians because he's calling green herb meat. Rebecca, you loud, girl. I'm sorry, y'all. It says, and Yah saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. All right, we're going to chapter 2, Genesis. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, Yah ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he hath made. And Yah blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Yah created and made. He needed to rest. Do you understand how much life he gave a piece of himself? His energy and his spirit is flowing upon the earth. Do you imagine how powerful he has to be to create life with a small piece of his energy? And Yah blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Yah created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord Yah made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord Yah had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord Yah formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord, we even came from the earth. Everything came from the earth. I don't think people realize, just thinking in modern days time, right? I don't think people realize or acknowledge, or maybe because the earth has been doing her thing for so long, we take advantage of the knowledge of how much energy, though we pollute the earth, though we harm the earth, though we cut down her trees, not to recycle and to use just because, though we spill blood, unrighteous blood, right, on the face of the earth, we don't recognize, or acknowledge the amount of energy that the earth has, that the earth gives. I mean, you can put a seed in the earth and have food. We bury our dead in the earth. We came from the earth. The energy of the earth is what gave us life, and it's Yah's energy. It says, and the Lord Yah formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And the Lord Yah planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord Yah to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight. So he made beautiful things for this man that he created, and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A lot of people speculate that the tree is actually like some type of, the tree of good and knowledge, I don't know, it's like an entity or something. I don't know. Anyway, it says, and a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah. Now let's look that up, because I want to know. I'm going to look up the river Pison, Pison. I should have did some research before I did this, just to Pison River location. It says David Rowe identified Pison. He's spelling it different. Pishon with the Uizun, Uizhun, Utzun, placing Havilah, which is the other. Wasn't Havilah the other river that was just mentioned? Havilah was the other river, right? Yes. Okay. So it says what? No, what is going on? Okay, it says the Utzin is, it says David Rowe, I don't know who that guy is, identified the first river Pison with the Uthun, placing Havilah to the northeast of Mesopotamia. I cannot pronounce words sometimes. Mesopotamia? Okay. The Utzin is known locally as the Golden River, rising near the stratovolcano Seyhan. It's, what's that? What? Stop, first of all, stop sending me these notifications. Okay? Like, I ain't asked you for nothing, Etsy. Okay, okay, so it's basically near the volcano Sahand, Sahand. It meanders between ancient gold mines. Oh, and loads of lapis lazuli. So crystals. So it's near gold mines and crystals before feet in the Caspian Sea. So these two seas, it's between ancient gold mines and crystal mines, and it feeds into the Caspian Sea. So it's Mesopotamia, Mesopotamia, Mesopotamia. Y'all forgive me. Okay, so let's go back to read in the scriptures because I want to see exactly what it says again. It says the river went. Okay, so how many breaks off? Okay, so it says it broke off into four heads. You have the first one. The name of the first is Pison, Pison. That is it which compassed the whole land of Havilah, which there is gold. You know what? It says which there is gold, and it did say that it was ancient. It was ancient gold mines, and the gold of that land is good. There is, and sure enough, the scripture says there is Bdellium. Let's look that up. Bdellium. Let's see. Bdellium. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's a fragrant resin produced by a number of trees related to myrrh. Okay, okay, so it's a tree that's in the myrrh type of smell, because frankincense and myrrh was a very popular fragrance in ancient days. Still now though. I know a lot of uh like Hebrew Israelites and Muslim ish, like Middle Eastern ish uh religions and families and areas, whatever you want to call it. They burn a lot of it says okay, and the onyx stone. So it was a best. It was basically it was good land. You had gold, you had crystals, you had fragrance trees. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compassed the whole land of Ethiopia. Okay. It says, and the name of the third river is Hiddekel. 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 That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. And the Lord Yah took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. So just to till the land, like that's your land. You have to keep it, keep up with it. And the Lord Yah commanded the man, saying, "Oh, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die." And this scripture right here is why death exists. Though death is something all human beings, right, experience, I do not feel that is something that's meant for us to go through. We were not meant to die. I'm going to read it again. It says, and the Lord Yah commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. And the Lord Yah said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord Yah formed every beast of the earth and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. And Adam giveth names to all the cattle, and the fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helpmeet for him. And the Lord Yah caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord Yah had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bone, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called a woman, because she was taken out of a man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. You know why? Because we were one flesh before. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. We're going to the next chapter, which is chapter 3. Why is my internet not working? I'm sorry, y'all. Hold up. Are you guys paying attention? Are you reading along in you all's Bible? Do you read the Bible on your phone, or do you have like a book in the house? I think it's important to have an actual book Bible. I usually read it on the phone like I'm doing now, but I do prefer to have one at home too. You know, just so my kids can read if they want, or we could just sit and read it together. Anyway, so we're going Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle, subtil, than any beast of the earth, of the field, which the Lord Yah had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have Yah said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, which is the center of the garden, Yah hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For Yah doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. First of all, why did we need to know evil? We was living it up. We was living good. Like, we were living good. Why? Like, why? And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons. So they experience shame. Why? It's just you and your husband, right? Of course, there's other, beings or whatever around if you're talking to someone. But you had no shame. No shame. Now you feel those first feelings of shame. And they heard the voice of the Lord Yah walking into the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord Yah amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord Yah called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I hear thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. kitty? My cat is over there bugging y'all. And the Lord Yah, oh wait, I read that. It says, and he said, who told ye that thou wast naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shalt not eat of? That thou shalt not eat? Shouldst not eat? I'm sorry. And the man said, the woman whom thou givest to me to be with me, she gave me of the tree. I did eat. Blaming the woman, even though she did do it. And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, not him blaming it on the Lord, on Yah, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord Yah said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord Yah said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman. Let's look up what that word means. Enmity. Let's look that up, y'all. Again, it's Enmity. 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 It means the state or feeling of being actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. So it's to be hostile against one another. So we're going to read it again. Where were we? And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thou desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. That's pretty self-explanatory. Because we committed this sin, we will feel sorrow in conception. I wonder if that means the pain that we feel bringing forth children, and that our husband shall rule over us. Y'all, it says, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt thou return. So this is where I think death came in. Also, this is where I think hard labor actually started coming in, because we have to work for every single thing, right? Most people have to work. There are very few people that don't have to work to get things that they need, but we have to work for everything. And Adam called his wife named Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did the Lord Yah make coats of skins and clothe them. And the Lord Yah said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore, the Lord Yah sent him forth from the Garden of Eden. So there was a tree there that he put forth and take also from there was a tree there, the tree of life, right? So what I'm getting from this, that at one point man was not meant to die. We were immortal. But because we committed this great sin against Yah, he took that immortality away. But he did warn us beforehand. We were warned, do not do this or else, right? You ever have your parents say, don't do this or else? If you do this, this is what's going to happen. And then it happens and it's like, oh my, like what's going to, he said, this is what's going to happen. Don't do this. There was, and in the Garden of Eden, because that's where they were, there was a tree that gave eternal life. And so Adam did not eat from this tree after he was already punished. The Lord kicked him out of Eden. It says, and the Lord Yah said, Behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore the Lord Yah sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Okay, so we are going to, this is going to be our last chapter to read before we finish the podcast. It says, and this is chapter 4, verse 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Side note, reading the Bible, and like I said, I read 1611 King James Version, so it has the Apocrypha in there. Reading the Bible, I'm wondering if years during this time, right, to replenish the earth, were women not pregnant for so long, and if when a child was born, if they grew up faster, right? Like if time, I don't know how to explain it, if time passed faster, or if they matured faster. I was going through some scriptures and I was reading, I'm going to try to do research. This is going to absolutely be for another podcast, because I do have to do research and do a deep dive into it to put some of my thoughts and scriptures together. But I was reading and I was going, and this was over months of reading, and I just kind of had a light bulb moment, or at least what I think was a light bulb moment. Like, because replenishing the earth is a lot, right? But thinking of today's terms, a woman is pregnant for like 10 months, whatever. So we would think today's terms for back then, but then that didn't make any sense, because back then we were meant to be immortal. So I was wondering, anyway, that's for another podcast. That's when we deep in it, right? Okay, so chapter 4, we're going to read it again from the beginning. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fell? Basically, what's wrong with you? Fix your face. Like, why your face look like that? If thou doest well, shalt not thou be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at thy door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother. And it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which have opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. So remember, we was talking about the strength and the energy that the earth gives freely. Now the Lord is cursing Cain, because remember, Cain was a tiller of the ground. Abel was giving his best to the Lord. Cain was giving But mind you, they were blessed. In the beginning scriptures, the Lord says they are blessed. We were blessed. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out of this day from the face of the earth. So he was rejected from the earth. Can you imagine being rejected from the very earth that the Lord planted the seed and gave you life? And from the face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that every one that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him shall kill him. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod, on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. And he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begot Mahajel, and Mahajel begot Medusal, and Medusal begot Lamech. And Lamech took upon him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ida, and the name of the other was Zillah. And Ida bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jabal. The other name is Jubal. Okay, so I'm going to read it again. And Ida bare Jabal, and he was the father of such that as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and the organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech. Hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and called his name Seth. For Yah said, she have appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began man to call upon the name of the Lord. Thank you guys for listening. That is the end of my very first episode of the Word, the Faith podcast. Join us again next week. We're going to read another 4 chapters of Genesis. Today we read from Genesis 1 and 1. I thought it only appropriate that this was my first podcast that I read in the beginning, right? So we read 4 chapters. Again, we're going to read chapters 5 through 9, right? That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 5 through 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. What? I can't count all of a sudden. What? I'm sleepy, y'all. It's 8:28. I'm getting older. It's bedtime for me. So we're going to read the next 4 chapters next week. I truly thank you guys for listening to my podcast, for taking the opportunity to read the good book, to read the word together. Right now, currently, I don't have a church that I go to, so a lot of times I just read the Bible alone, but it's good to have a group of people. Even if if I don't see you guys, I don't know that you're there, it's just good to read along and have a group of people that you read with, that you pray with. Hopefully this community can grow. We can have a wonderful community of positivity, of faith, of love, right? And this can be our church. This can be something that we do in the Lord, and we do it with a peaceful heart, a loving heart, a good heart, right? No maliciousness, no evilness, no sin, no lust, none of those negative energies and sinful, ways or whatever. But we can get together and we can read the Bible. All right. So good night, y'all. I hope y'all have a good night. I hope y'all have a good week. I'm off for the next 2 days. So my first day off, which is tomorrow, I'm going to sleep all day. And the day after, Wednesday, I think I'm going to do a little errands, handle some business, clean up, blah, 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 blah. But again, I'll meet you guys in a week's time. If I do plan on maybe, sometimes I just want to, jump up here and do another episode earlier than a week's time, then I'll do that. That's okay too. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'll definitely post. I'll post on my Facebook page. I'll post on my Instagram page. I'll post on my TikTok. I'm going to make an email. So if you guys want to email, if there's any topics that you guys want to talk about that's in the scriptures, or if there's something that you want to read other than Genesis in the scriptures, then go on ahead and DM me, and we'll go through it together. Bye, you guys. God bless. Be good and be safe out in these streets.